Humans, people of Earth, join us in our battle for good cinema as we review. We talk about, well, I don't know what the hell we're on. This review extravaganza.
Ganza.
Do not fear, Martin Thomas. We are here to help you.
What?
Help you lose your damn mind.
Okay. All right. Well, you're already successful at that.
But the battle is not over yet.
Oh no.
For it has just begun.
Yeah, I know. And knowing's half the battle. Do I have the wrong show?
You can't give me no respect, can you? I mean, take me seriously, man. Come on, man.
You have to give me some time on that one. Let me back up and come back in.
Martin Thomas.
Yes.
Can't you see my struggle?
Yes. Oh, the struggle's real.
I came down on the struggle ship. Optimus Prime is here.
Yes, the struggle bots.
Greetings, humans.
Worth every dime. Oh boy. Where's Michelle Trachtenberg when you need her? There she is.
What are you laughing at, little girl? This is a serious thing I'm doing here.
Yes, very serious. Can't even look at you.
I'm so glad we got this money for this costume.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Uh-oh.
What happened? Oh yeah. Oh, don't lose your hand.
Martin. Hey, look, I'm very serious with this. Okay? I'm very serious.
Yeah.
But every now and then I can cut loose.
Huh. That's the robot.
Every now and then,
you'd be an expert at it. Okay.
I gotta take time off from the fight. Get my boogie on, man.
And vogue a little bit. Huh.
If you're wondering what the hell is going on, as Martin is.
Yeah, tell me.
And Martin should be used to this by now. Martin ain't seen this in a long time.
Not to this degree.
He thought he was ready.
I did. It scared the hell out of me when I walked in.
Martin walked in, he's like, nah. I said, do not fear me, Martin Thomas. I've come to your planet to help you. Martin's like, help me do what?
Yeah,
you want to help me get the hell out of here? Take that shit out.
Point me to the exit. Yeah, I'm seeing my friend around here.
Oh, I'm about to go down to Times Square and get some money. Hey!
I saw you look at me. Give me $5.
Somebody said, oh, the mask is upside down.
Is it?
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Oh, me either.
Hold on. I was transforming, that's why.
I was wondering why you look like a bionic. Okay. Oh, it makes sense now. Yeah, now I can see it.
I can't see nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. I have to wear it the other way around. I can't see a damn thing.
Damn, it's closing down your eyelids.
Shit.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a little better.
Okay, yeah, it looks better.
It's just, I cannot see, Martin. It's pressing up against my eyes.
Yeah, I see that.
Shit. It hurts when I blink.
Well, don't blink.
Shit. I might have to wear this upside
down. Yeah, it's probably cutting you. Now you see why Captain America had a fake ear.
People of Earth, I can't see a damn thing. But I can see all of you out there waiting for this review for Rise of the Beast. What you waiting on?
I don't know anymore. I'll be honest.
You know, every time I put this on, Martin just loses it. He's just like, what the hell is happening?
You are a toy.
And you are a sad little man. Oh man, I transformed into Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
You see it? Oh, folks. Welcome to our review. If you couldn't tell by the costume, we are talking about those Transformers out there, man. Oh, this is the latest installment of the non-Michael Bay Transformers. You know, we have entered a new age now.
But they are all connected though, right?
I don't know. You know what? They don't know. They still trying to figure it out. And the reason why they're trying to figure it out is because they've kind of left it open. You know, they've kind of left it open to see where this goes. Because, you know, not too long ago, we had Bumblebee.
Yeah.
And now, and before that, we had the Michael Bay movies. And now we are here with the new entry that brings in some new Transformers. And that is Transformers Rise of the Beast. When the Transformers came out, you were too old for that shit.
I was.
Yeah.
That was the cutoff.
Yeah, Martin's like, I was a man at that time. I wasn't playing no toys. I'm like, yo, stupid ass when it came out. I was about 11 years old when the Transformers first premiered here in the United States. And ever since then, they've gone through a lot of different generations.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you got the OG Gen 1, and now I think they're up to Gen 50 or something. Anyway, throughout that time, they've had all kind of different Transformers. And this one introduces, to the movies at least, the Maximals. These are animal Transformers.
Wasn't there a line of underwear for kids?
No, those are underoos.
Oh. No, Garanimals.
Garanimals, yeah.
I
think that's Gen 5 Transformers. These are robots that turn into gorillas and cheetahs and hawks and
rhinos.
And rhinos, yeah. But they come from a different time. They come from a different planet. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep Earth safe. They're trying to keep any planet that they're on safe. Before Earth, there was a few planets they were trying to keep safe from the dreaded...
From Galactus.
Stop it. You know the name of this thing right here. You stop that. You stop that. Pay
all
respect.
planet eaters look alike after a while.
That's racist. Now you stop that. All planet eaters look alike. Man, I thought you were more open-minded than that. Stop it. But you would be right.
Prejudice die hard, but yeah.
It's just Galactus is a big gold ball up in the air. Now you got me forgetting his name. I want to say Galactus now.
It's Omicron, right?
Omicron.
That virus we were fighting.
Yeah. Unicron.
Unicron. Sorry.
So Unicron, the dreaded Unicron, also eater of planets. And the thing that lets him continue to eat these planets is that he's got the key. Some things called the transwarp or something. But before he can come and eat Earth, they split the key in half, separating the rest of the Maximals. They leave and they go to Earth, where they run into Noah. And that actor, what's his name?
Anthony Ramos.
Anthony Ramos. Hamilton, he was just in the Heights and all that kind of stuff. Here he plays a down on his luck veteran who's just trying to get by. Nobody wants to help him out, and things are not going well at home. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But his life is about to change as he meets at least the Transformers that we all know and love, the Autobots led by Optimus Prime. Together they have to join forces with these damn animals over here and try to protect the Predacons, led by the evil Scourge, who wants to...
Predacons, that's what they call?
I believe so.
Okay.
Because I know in the show...
I'm not trying to correct you. I'm just curious.
Oh, no. I think that's what they're called.
Okay.
Predacons.
Okay.
Damn, that sounds kind of...
That's why when you said it, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, that sounds kind of like pedo in a way. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. The Terracons.
Terracons. Okay, I thought I'd read Terracons.
Yeah.
But you're the expert, so I was willing to take your word for it.
You know what? I'm not the expert on this generation at all. In fact, I just got familiar with these beasts not too long ago.
Okay.
I'll tell you about that in a little while. The Terracons. They have to protect them against Terracons and somehow keep it open to where they can find their way back to Cybertron or wherever the hell they're going. So this is, with this movie right here, you have to kind of, you have to look at it compared to some of the other films that are out there, the Transformers. At least that's how I judge this movie right here, because, with the Michael Bay movies, that's exactly what they were. They were Michael Bay movies. Mm-hmm. It was all about explosions, ass, over the top characters.
That's just the humans.
And that's just the humans. Mm-hmm. And the Transformers, they just happen to be there.
Right.
Forgive me.
Ain't no forgiveness for that at all. Those movies are unforgivable. But then you had a new approach to this when they finally got Michael Bay out of the director's seat and they came out with Bumblebee.
People can be terrible about things they don't understand. From now on, the only person you can show yourself around is me.
And that was a Transformers movie. You got to see Cybertron, you got to see some of the Transformers that you like, but really the main story here was like an E.T. type story. Mm-hmm. This movie right here, again, I'm not an expert on this generation of Transformers. I'm not a big expert on the Maximals and Beast Wars. That's the cartoon this is kind of taken from. But, I will say that this movie right here felt more like the cartoons, at least the ones I was growing up with, for better or for worse. Because with this, your favorite robots, and some new ones, but your favorite ones, they have more screen time. But this was a simpler story. It was way less chaotic than those Michael Bay movies.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And also having a simpler story meant that the robots, it was a chase. It was a quest for one thing. That's how those shows usually were. Is usually they were after something, or one almighty thing.
The MacGuffin.
Yeah, the MacGuffin. And they would chase this one thing, and then it would just lead up to a big ass fight. That's how these episodes usually worked out. That was the formula for many of the episodes of the old TV show. And why was it so simple? Because they want to sell toys. That's it.
Yeah.
That was pretty pure and simple, man. And adults, they treated us like we were stupid. They thought we were a bunch of morons. Look at y'all falling for this dumb shit right here. Don't you know trying to sell your toys? I'm like, yes, we do. And we want them. And by the way, this is the coolest commercial I've ever seen, if it is a commercial.
Right.
So we were very clear what this was, man. So now looking at this movie and seeing these robots come to life again, and these robots looking badass and having these cool car chases and, and even some people, you're probably still expecting, maybe Michael Bay's not there, but you still get some of that Michael Bay edginess that's up in there. It's cool enough that a lot of adults might look at this and think, all right, now we're talking, now I want to see that. And you know what? It might appeal to some adults out there, but it still has the writing of those 30-minute commercials from back in the day. Stretched out to a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, a little over. Yeah.
So kids out there and fans looking for nostalgia, you probably will enjoy this. But if you're over the age of, I don't know, 10, it might get a little silly for your grown ass, And by the way, that's coming from a grown ass man dressed like Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe not. I can make a counter argument for that.
Okay.
But let me hear what you have to say.
Well, okay, so yeah, I totally dislike the Michael Bay movies. Unfortunately, I haven't seen all of Bumblebee, but what I've seen of it was, wow, this kind of works. This more personal story can really get into it. And here, I like I like what they were doing. I like the human characters a lot. Anthony Ramos as Noah and Dominic Fishback as Elena. Especially with when they go into Noah's story, I was like, this is actually something they haven't really done before. And he feels like a fleshed out character who has a family and a backstory that's not typical. And I was kind of fascinated and love how he comes into it. And then when he meets up with Mirage, voiced by Pete Davidson, I was like, this is that kind of Bumblebee feel. And Pete Davidson, I think, is great. He's got a perfect old school cartoon voice.
Yeah.
So him hanging out with Mirage, I was like, oh man, I'm liking this already. We're having fun. The one thing, not having watched the cartoons, but that I've taken away from all the movies that I've seen, is that Optimus Prime is a drag. He just sucks the oxygen out of the room. And he's kind of a bitch because he Sorry, man.
I'm sitting right here.
I know you. I see you sitting right there, but wow, you come in with your commanding voice and a lot of bluster, and I do nothing but see you get your ass kicked in every one of these movies. And I thought, different director, it'll be different this time, and it was not.
Wow, you're like, oh. Oh, Mark, why you have to say that?
You know what? It's happened so much that when he got into a fight, I didn't even have any expectation he was going to win.
Okay. You know what? And whether I agree with you or not, I see exactly where you're coming from. I mean, you know, that's my boy right there and everything. I mean,
he might be your boy.
I mean, I might have to stick up for my friend over here. But right. I hear what you're saying, because I actually wrote down some stuff that's kind of along the lines of what you're saying.
I do like that he gets called out on it at one point, because I was like, yes, tell him.
Well, listen. I was just saying that if you're above the age of 10, this might get a little silly for you. But then again, it might not. And I can make an argument for that, because it all depends on what you expect from this movie.
Sure.
Because this movie right now, it ain't apologizing for shit, okay? It knows that it's a cartoon. That cartoon writing for those 30-minute episodes that I was talking about, they know exactly what they're doing with this. And they don't care. They're not ashamed of it at all. They're not trying to get deep. And they're setting up, what they're doing is they're setting up just enough stuff to get these robots pissed off at each other and just have them beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much what they're doing, and get them fighting. You know, even the beginning of this lets you know what this is, because it starts with the Maximals. You know, like I said, those gorillas and rhinos and hawks and everything and cheetahs. The thing is, why is that the case? Why are they shaped like animals from Earth, even though they're not on Earth?
I wasn't gonna ask.
Good, don't, because there ain't no answer for it.
There ain't no answer for it. Yeah. I was like, okay. I feel like if I stop to ask, then I got to go into why these robots pretend to be Earth vehicles to begin with, or why are animals at all? I mean, why are robots shaped like animals? But you know what? You never had that feeling like, I want to know. I want somebody to answer this. But I'm afraid if I do, the answer they're going to give me is just going to make me madder, or going to be so stupid. It's like, you know what? Never mind.
Well, they did offer an explanation for it. Oh. Cool. That's why. Yeah, that's why. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, really, if you get right down to it, that's why. Because it's going to sell some toys, and it looks, a hawk as a robot, that's badass. A rhino, a gorilla robot?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
You know, that's...
It's one of those, if they were built on Earth, you would kind of understand, but on a planet far, far away.
That doesn't make sense at all. And the thing with that is that they give you just a little bit of an explanation, but it don't make no sense anyway. And if you want more of an explanation, well, you better go back to 1996 and dig up the cartoon. Yeah, so in the cartoon, they explain a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I'm new to the Beast Wars. I never watched it back in the day, but I watched an episode recently, a couple episodes, and so they have a longer story. They explain more. Okay. But here, they're like, man, we don't get it. We're trying to get
you want these or not?
Yeah.
We know you do.
Exactly, man. You know, they're like, right now, we got more important issues to deal with, you know, like these robots beating the shit out of each other. Which looks great, actually, if you ask me, but more on that later. And I would tell you, man, despite the silliness of the story, which we're talking about, which I've said over and over again, parts of the movie actually work well. And a lot of those parts, I think, are what you're talking about. You know, mainly in that first half, man, when they're setting up the human characters. You know, and even with the human characters, there's nothing too deep with them. You know, they actually they cheat. They try to get, you know, emotions out of us in really cheap ways. Mm-hmm. Anthony Ramos says Noah. You know, I was telling you that he's a down on his luck veteran. You know, people nobody wants to hire him. You know, because of something from his past. Mm-hmm. You know, and if that's not, if that don't make you feel bad for him enough, at home, he got a sick little brother, Martin. Got a chronic illness, and the hospital don't want to take care of him because they too broke to pay their bills.
Yeah, right.
And healthcare sucks. And
things everyone can sympathize with.
Oh yeah, and mama trying her best to hold together. You know, they really shorthand ways of getting emotion out of us.
And it's Miles Morales' mom.
Oh, it sure is. And what's her name? Dominic Fishback. You know, she's another. These are pretty much underdog characters.
Yeah.
You know, underdog characters are a really shortcut way of getting emotions out of people.
Yes.
She's another underdog character. She's a museum intern who she's the smartest person in the building, but, you know, her boss takes all the credit and she just can't move up, man. So, you know, with these characters right here, man, you know, there's nothing deep with them. But I will say this. These characters might be cliche, but unlike the Michael Bay movies, these characters are likable because they actually have heart.
Yeah. Yeah. These actors bring some dimension to them.
Yeah, they're not, these actors are not there simply to be laughed at or objectified or just, you know, something to serve the action. You know, these characters actually have a lot of heart, and it's mainly thanks to the performances of the actors. You know, and some of the dialogue that they were given. You know, Anthony Ramos, man, is him and Dominic Fishback are great together. And I would say that, you know, a lot of that thing has to do with them being from Brooklyn, which they emphasize hard.
They mention over and over again.
Because they capture that Brooklyn attitude very well in the dialogue, which is very humorous sometimes, man. You know, he has a lot of funny lines that work right here. And speaking of Brooklyn, man, this is set in 1994, so here's where my bias kicks in hard. You know, they played a lot of hip hop from 1994, a lot of New York hip hop.
It's got a great soundtrack.
Well, let me ask you this: because normally we talk about when they play the soundtrack, like if they keep playing songs trying to remind you of what that period is, or hey, do you remember this was back in the day? It gets annoying sometimes. We said that with the movie Air. Yeah. So what do you think was different in this movie?
I don't know. It did feel more background and not like it was pushing itself. Yeah. And yeah, you know what? It all was, okay, so with Air, and I love Air, but it felt like listening to like Bob FM, where they're playing a bunch of different songs from that period. But this stuck to mostly around one genre, mostly hip hop. So it felt like more of the fabric of the whole movie. Yeah,
you know, it felt like the hip hop they were playing was meant to be not to keep reminding you, it's 1994. It was meant to be as a character for Brooklyn itself. Yeah, like the music was meant to just capture the mood of Brooklyn. Also, you know, it went well with the action too. Yeah, whenever they had an action scene or a chase going on, the music played well with that. You know, they seem to have a purpose of playing the music in here. There are moments in here where it really did kind of appeal to me and just brought the little kid out of me. I felt like a little kid watching the show during certain moments in here. When Noah started meeting the Transformers, I was like, okay, now see, this is something from the show that I remember. You know, it captured the feeling of that. Yeah. You know, it was like me being a little kid watching the cartoon again. Show ass out. Get out my ride.
That felt good. The name's Mirage. Come on. You brought a human here.
Exactly. Squeeze him out like toothpaste.
You can't tell anybody about this. No, I won't speak.
I'm nobody. I ain't even seen nothing. I'm not even seeing anything right now.
You know, it was stuff like that, man, that I thought was kind of cool. You know, it definitely felt like something out the cartoon, but it felt like those moments felt like it had better writing, just based on the characters. You know, the human characters that we had in here. Yeah, I really enjoyed the setup that they had.
Yeah, me too.
Like that first half of the movie is what made Bumblebee so appealing. You know, that first half of the movie felt a lot like Bumblebee. It was almost kind of the same thing, except you had more of the Transformers there.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
I must take a moment now, Martin, to I'm not gonna do you. I already dressed up stupid today. All right. So I'm not. So Martin, I'm not gonna hit you with a segue. All right. I already scared you today. So hey Martin, I'm easing into an ad. Okay. Look at my hands. They're up. No crazy segue. I do have to stop and give a word to our sponsor right now, which is Stamps.com. And you know, if you mail a lot of stuff, especially, you know, when holidays come around, or you know, you live in a busy city, or you know how it is going to the post office. Nothing wrong with the post office. It served us well for years, but it can be a hassle when people get in those lines. It can be a hassle when you have to wait all day and you're busy, especially if you're running a business mailing stuff off. You don't have to do that anymore. It's a new age right now. A lot of people don't realize they got a post office right here in your house. No, your home, your own office at home. And that is the service Stamps.com. They have the best discounts in the industry. And they are partnered with USPS and UPS for unbeatable rates. You can get up to 84% off the cheapest and fastest postage out there, man.
Nice.
Yes. And they've been around for 25 years, served millions of businesses out there. And you can get access to USPS and UPS services right from your computer, 24 hours a day. No waiting in line, no dealing with people, no losing time, because time is money. You're a business person. You don't have time for that. Also, with Stamps.com, all you need is a computer and a printer. And if you sign up, they'll even send you a free scale. So all you have to do is just get started. If you need a package pickup, you can easily schedule it through Stamps.com. They have a dashboard there. So again, saving you more time. Have I convinced you to use it yet? You're using a lot of postage. If you are, you would be a fool not to sign up for this. We used to have it back in the day when we were first starting out with Double Toasted, right. And I still have an account. And my wife, she used to mail off a lot of stuff. We used it with when she was doing that. So if this sounds appealing to you, and it should, just go to Stamps.com and use the promo code TOASTED. And when you do that, you'll get a 4-week trial plus free postage and that digital scale that I was telling you about. And you got no long-term commitments, or you got no contracts to deal with. You got nothing to lose. Oh yeah, you do. Your money and your time. If you're tired of losing that, then do what I say. Sign up for Stamps.com today. I want to thank Stamps.com for sponsoring this portion of the show. And I want to thank you very much. Be myself. I want to thank you very much for your support. And I appreciate it as always. All right. Let me see what we got here. We're talking about the humans here. But what about the Transformers themselves? You know, the star of the movie, Martin. Mm-hmm. What about them?
Yeah, what about them?
Nothing deep.
No.
But again, nothing deep is in this movie. But here's where I agree with you, Martin. And I'm gonna pull up something right here, because you were talking about how Optimus Prime, he's what'd you say about him? You didn't.
I said he's a drag.
I thought you said, I said he's a bitch.
I said that too. That too.
Oh.
Talks a big game. Gets his ass handed to him every time.
Something, the thing is that I was going to say, okay, so some of these Transformers, they do take themselves a little seriously. And Optimus Prime is one of them. I don't like talking about my boy behind his back like this, but you are correct. Let me just say this. In all the years that I've known my man Optimus Prime, he ain't told one joke.
No one joke. I don't think he ever smiled.
He ain't smiled. And no, it's not because he got a metal face, because that shit is flexible. I've seen it. He ain't smiled. He ain't told a joke. I mean, I got to agree with you on this. He's serious, man.
He is, and he is angsty as. It's all my fault. I have to do this. It's my responsibility. It's like, man, everybody here is grown. Settle down.
He's a cross between a truck and Batman.
Yeah.
You know what? The funny thing is, he was even at a meeting. There was a homeowners association meeting, and he showed up, and everybody was sitting there. Everybody sat there like, Jesus, this guy needs to lighten up.
My name is Optimus Prime.
Members of the DC Public Safety Committee heard from Peter Cullen, who voices Optimus Prime.
Georgetown should be proud.
These people are like, what the? These people, I ain't got time for this shit. And by the way, lighten up, man. Yeah. God damn. Get a sense of humor.
Jeez. Somebody's always like, this is all my responsibility. Yeah. It's like, you're avoiding something. No, nobody put this on you. You're doing that to yourself.
You know what? You're no fun at all. You want to know we want those statues out the neighborhood because of you. Because you're no fun at all. Maybe if you were, maybe you had a sense of humor, we'd let you stay.
Right. Yeah, we object to the Optimus Prime statue. If you get Mirage up there, we're cool.
Yeah, what would be it? No, but a lot of these, he's not the only one. A lot of these robots are pretty serious. Like if Prime is in your name.
Yeah.
No, you don't have a sense of humor at all.
No.
Like, you all about business. Optimus Gorilla, or Optimus Primal, that Hulk, Air Razor, that damn Rhino. You know, all of them are a little high strung too. And so you know, if you get all of them together, some shit gonna go down.
Why are you hunting for the key?
Yo, Donkey Kong, stay away from my friend. Mirage, don't worry. You boys got this.
Okay, just everybody relax. All right, come on now. Just put the shit down. We can talk this out. Prime, man, put the gun down. Donkey Kong ain't gonna do shit. Man, Pete Davidson really is good.
Yeah.
In this, and I'm gonna tell you, I didn't know that was him at first.
At first I didn't either. I was going like, what is that voice? It sounds like your cousin from Boston. I know it's not that guy.
Yeah.
And then after a while, it's like when he came down, he got quiet. I was like, that's Pete Davidson.
Yeah. No, I didn't even know it was him until, and I remember he was going to be in the movie. I had read he was going to be in the movie. I forgot about that. I didn't know that was him. And I started reading up on the movie. I was like, man, he did actually pretty good. Mirage is actually a great character in the movie. Again, who's needed? Because, like you say, no, everybody else ain't got no sense of humor in this.
Look, they either have no sense of humor or they just don't have a personality at all.
Yeah. Well, Bumblebee is pretty cool. You know, Bumblebee still talks in,
sound bites,
music bites, sound bites from movies. So, you know, he's still a little fun. And I will say this, even as serious as some of these characters are, I still like them because I think the voice actors did a good job. You know, you had
like Ron Perlman, was he Optimus Primal?
He was Optimus Primal.
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh, she was Air Razor.
Yeah, I like the two of them quite a bit.
And they even had a Transformer with a thick accent who told somebody they were racist.
Oh yeah.
Won't say who, won't say how it went down, but he just say, hey man, that's racist. So, yeah, but
what?
And I don't mind Optimus Prime being serious, man, because Optimus Prime has always been that character. You know, even in the cartoons, he's the leader. He has to look after everybody. He has no time for games. So I as a person who did not grow up with the Transformers, I get it. He's a tight ass.
Like I get it. He's the hero that everybody looks up to, but after a while, he becomes insufferable. And I do like it. There's a couple times he gets called out. Like one guy was like, I used to look up to that guy, but geez.
Oh man! But you know, look, he's not a guy. I mean, he has to protect everybody. He's stressed out.
No, he doesn't.
He's got a job to do.
He's got a messiah complex.
Everything is on his shoulders, man.
Because that's in his head. No, nobody's asking him. Nobody's going, Prime, protect us. You better not, because he can't do it.
You don't understand him, man. I get it. You don't know Prime like I know.
Oh
Prime.
Yeah. See, just because you got that suit on, that's clouding your brain and making you think you identify with him.
I'm the authority. All right.
Walk a mile in my tread, son.
Yeah. 2 planets. He's trying to protect a whole race of people. At the same time, trying to be an example for his the people that he's leading. You know, it's not an easy job, man.
Yeah.
You know, when's the last time you protected 2 planets?
I feel like I'm doing it right now.
I'm protecting my sanity. That's what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, they like I was saying, some of the robots do have a sense of humor. Mirage is so likable because he is more relatable because of his sense of humor. He's the one that's cracking the most jokes. He's the one that has this really down to earth personality. And I tell you, I think the robots work for me, whether they were serious or cracking jokes, because their designs look better. It's like they're not fully the Transformers that we know from the cartoons.
They reached a happy medium.
Yeah, they're a combination of this right here from what we see in the cartoons and the Michael Bay designs, are the Michael Bay movie Transformers, which is fine. I don't mind that. What happens with that is that, one, the personalities of the physicalities of the characters come out, because, it doesn't look like they threw, I said this before, it doesn't look like they picked up a bunch of silverware and threw that shit into a blender.
Yeah.
The action here is, I think, well thought out. A lot of it fits the personalities of the characters, like with Mirage. He has they have a great car chase in here, where he's running from the police, and he gets to use his Mirage powers.
Calling all Autobots. Roll out.
Had that been a Michael Bay movie, that camera would have been flying all over the place.
Sure. And it would have been an 18-car pileup.
Yeah, exactly. Also, the fight scenes are not so confusing here, you know, as they were in the previous films, you know, excluding Bumblebee, of course. You know, again, with this, I think, for one, you have less stuff going on screen. There's a lot, but, you know, we have less Autobots and less Terracons and whatnot. Yeah. So, you know, the action is a little clearer.
Yeah, and they aren't all made up of cogs and blades and screws that are all moving around and flying through the air.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, it's frenzied, crazy camera work, but again, for some reason, the action just seems a little more clear here. Like, I think the compositions are better. I think the camera work is not as wild. I think, you know, you get to see one-on-one action between robots fighting each other, and pulling. And speaking of these robots fighting each other. Now, I say brutal, you know, it's all relative because these are brutal fights, but they're robots. Yeah. But they beat they tear their asses up. I mean, when they fight each other, they're ripping each other apart, man. I mean, like, if these were people fighting, they'd be pulling out organs and blood would be everywhere. But the fight scenes here go hard. It's just one big street brawl that they do at the end, which is something that takes away from the film, because I think that's when we start getting into the second part. So when you get into the second part of the movie, you know, all that buildup that we had with the characters, all the story buildup, that's when everything just kind of goes away for, you know, just one repeated fight scene after another. I probably would not have a problem with that, but the movie's 2 hours, probably a little over 2 hours, and it just kind of gets numbing after a while.
Okay, so you felt that too.
Yeah. I mean, I think the fights are cool. I think the actions are great. The action's great. The action's amazing, but you know, this movie doesn't need to be this long. As I said, this is a simple story, you know, and we're just chasing one key and trying to, you know, stop one big ass planet robot. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know exactly what you're saying. And that's the thing, because with the first, look, I'm not being a bitch about it. I know I'm watching a Transformers movie. Yeah, okay, some of them are based on animals from Earth and they don't make sense. And, you know, all that. I know what I'm getting into. So I was surprised by how much I liked this movie. I was really digging it. And, for the first half of it anyway. I do think that in the second half, the more it focuses on the robots, the Autobots, the less enjoyable it is. I mean, if you're a fan and you're getting to see your favorite characters or toys, you know, it's cool. But it devolves into nothing but chase, fight, chase, fight, chase, you know, wash, rinse, repeat. And it's not just repeating itself within the movie, it's repeating so much of what we've seen even in the Michael Bay movies. You know, initially, with the first movie, we're chasing down the Allspark, and now we're chasing down the transwarp key. And it's like, you're just switching out names, man. I mean, even if you had ChatGPT write it, it would even throw in some new things just to mix things up. And I was really sticking with it and having a good time. And then I felt it much harder to stick with it, and I felt numb and I felt sleepy. And I was like, dang, I went from really enjoying this to like, I'm kind of dozing off now. You know what?
That's funny you say that, because I've never felt so sleepy myself during action scenes. Yeah. I was like, you know, this is just like you said, it's starting to get repetitive at this point. And
these, you know, they can tear into each other, but even there's a death that gets reversed early in the movie. So at that point, you're like, well, okay, does any one of these deaths actually mean anything?
There's when you get out in that field, because at first we had about 9 or 10 Transformers that we followed, and when they get out there, like, where the hell are these other robots come from?
Yeah, you know, reinforcements. I'm like, oh, don't do that.
Yeah,
let's just don't prolong this. Let's just wrap it up.
Yeah, it's cool, but it just goes on a little too long. And I think that's because of the length of the film did not really need to be that long. It's almost like they know that people want to see robots fight, and they gave us that, but they could have pulled back a little bit. And I'm getting texts from people. Somebody said, Megatron, right? And I was like, I guess so, because he wasn't around.
Yeah. Well, it's 1994. Maybe he comes later, right?
Yeah, he might come in later. Yeah. And there's other voices in here that you know, they don't feel like they are used to the notoriety of the people who are doing the voices. Like Coleman Domingo does Unicron.
Oh, okay. And Peter Dinklage is Scourge.
Scourge, yeah.
Scourge.
I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, at the end of the movie, either you are going to be very excited, you might even get up and applaud, or you're gonna be rolling your eyes and laughing.
Huh. I was, you know what? I was in the second camp, but I did genuinely laugh out loud. And like it was part, can't believe it, and part kind of enjoying this.
Hey, listen, let's just say, you know, got somebody else trying to build a universe.
Yeah.
And personally, I'm behind it. I mean, listen, I'm not
They're going to do it no matter what.
Yeah, they're going to do it. And who am I going to sit up and, at this point, I'm going to try to.
That's how I felt too. Like, you're going to sit through all this and then get mad when they do that?
Yeah.
They teed it up.
So you mean at this point, now I'm going to try to call foul? Now I'm going to be like, bullshit? No. Come on, man. At this point, go ahead.
Yeah.
In a way, it's something we kind of asked for anyway.
Right. Yeah, you've been begging for it since you were a child.
Yeah. It's finally here.
Yeah. They just snuck it in on you.
Martin is not lying. I kind of waited all my life for this. Ever since I started playing with toys, and now we're here.
They pull the monkey's paw.
So you know what? I'm down with it. I don't give a shit. I don't care no more.
That's how I felt like. Just like, oh wow, oh you're doing it. Okay, sure, why not? I mean, hey, it ain't for me, but none of this has been for me. So
I know. I don't care no more. Autobots roll out.
You know what? So much of what it spurred, what fueled my enjoyment, was watching the crowd. Between the half of the and the
no, most of the crowd went crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, you grown ass children in here. By the way, that's cool. Yeah. It's I hope that this is a success so they can go through with this next idea.
Yeah.
Because I really want to see them do this.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here, man. It is purely simplicity drawn out to an unnecessary length of time that keeps this movie from being great. I think that there's enough good entertainment in here to make it a perfect summer matinee movie, especially for the kids. And I mean, it's not deep and not trying to be. It gives you everything you want in a summer movie. You know what I mean? It's enough to kind of keep you satisfied before the next one comes out. So for the younger audiences out there, and for those who grew up on Transformers, who are kind of, you know, in it for the nostalgia, I would say that this is it's a matinee. It's a low matinee, but it's a matinee. I think it's perfect. It's perfectly fine to go see this in the theater during the day. I don't think you need to spend a whole lot of money on this. But it's just really just nonsensical entertainment is good with me.
If I was a father of young boys, or I grew up with this, I'd be right there with you. Just me being me.
But he ain't.
But I'm not. I'm not. And just honestly look at the movie objectively. I mean, you are right about it being, you know, another bridge to the next summer blockbuster. But there is a thing of watching this where I was just like, man, these summer blockbusters are all kind of doing the same thing. And it almost kind of breaks my heart because I was liking it so much in the beginning. So it's more of a high rental for me.
You know, I can tell you why this stands out from the other blockbusters. For one, it ain't as good as other blockbusters like Spider-Man, you know, Across the Spider-Verse. It's not on that level at all.
No, not even close.
But then again, it knows its place. It knows it's not aiming for anything that high. It knows where it is. And
it just didn't know when to go off.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true right there. I agree with you. When you have all these other blockbusters that are really taking themselves seriously, and some of them not being very good, even the Michael Bay movies took themselves a little too seriously. You know, this is not that movie. You know, you have a lot of blockbusters that are all up their own ass. This is not that. It knows what it is. It knows it's fluffy, and so that's why I'm a little more forgiving of this.
I get it.
Yeah, but that's But when you say didn't know what to leave, it's like, yeah, you need to get that. You need to go now.
It's almost like these movies have this, like they all have this feeling like if we don't hit 2 hours, nobody will take us seriously. And so they stretch it out whether they got 2 hours worth of story or not.
Yeah. But there you go, folks. No one said it's bad here, though.
No.
And depending on who you are, you'll either see the length, which is very understandable.
It's the second best Transformers movie.
Out of what, 12?